Suit up, strap in, warm the tires, and leave on yellow. Time for the MitsuTimes podcast. Presented by MitsuTimes.org, the home of the fastest Mitsubishi cars. With your host, Josh.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the MitsuTimes podcast. It's been a little while. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Aaron Bain. You saw him at the shootout. He had quite the adventure at the shootout last year. How are you today, sir?
I am good, and that adventure actually isn't over yet.
Oh, really? Still looking for an engine on that camper?
Look, well, I have everything down there, but I'm just waiting to go pick it up now.
Oh,
so it should end soon. But that was a ride.
Yeah, for sure. You want to fill people in who maybe either didn't make it to the shootout or don't know about your little adventure?
Yeah, so we're from Ontario, Canada, and me and 4 of my friends got into my RV that I purchased 2 weeks before the shootout. It made it to one track day locally to us with the trailer behind it, and we decided that we were going to go to Ohio. I believe we got to Pennsylvania, and it started to shake really bad, and in about 8 seconds, the drive shaft was flying over the trailer behind it.
Wow.
So it broke the transmission, it broke the ring gear out of the rear end. It actually split the transmission case in half.
That's nuts.
So we got on the e-scooters on the side of the interstate, rolled them to the next, to a U-Haul, luckily on that exit, got a box van and proceeded to tow the trailer and get the RV towed down to the shootout. It was a hell of a ride.
So you towed the camper with a box van that was towing the race car?
No. We took the box truck and unhooked the trailer and hooked the box truck to the trailer, and then called a wrecker to get the.
Oh, okay. I bet that was quite the tow bill there.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. I have Good Sam though, so it helped a lot.
Okay, good.
I think I made $500.
That's not too bad.
But I've never been more stressed in my life.
I guarantee it. And it was kind of your shootout debut with the new car.
It was, yeah. I've never been there before, and it was my first time out there.
That's
and
right.
A hell of a way to start it.
Absolutely. That's one you'll never forget for sure.
Definitely not. I really want to, but I never will.
No matter how much you want to.
Yeah.
Hopefully you had some good alcohol to make the taste go down a little bit.
Yeah. We were making some beer margaritas, and they definitely helped.
So the new car, you nicknamed the Down Deposit. What's the meaning behind the nickname?
So it's kind of a funny story between me and my girlfriend. We kind of pulled our money together and got that car when really it's almost time to buy a house. So we decided to.
The car costs as much as a deposit on a house?
Almost, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's true love right there.
It is. She's always down for the adventure, so it helps.
That's awesome. Well, I want to talk about the setup on the new car because the old car was not slow, but the new car is pretty serious, right?
Yeah, so the old car was a FP Black on the same motor that was in the new car this year. I think I've had that motor for about 10 years, but last year I went to a 64 millimeter turbo from Turbo Parts Canada, and we proceeded to get after it very hard. And I'm sure the car made around 800 horsepower, and the fastest it went was a 912 at 156 miles an hour.
Quite the machine.
It definitely helped. It was that old motor definitely held together, and I'm very surprised.
You got your money's worth out of it.
Definitely did. I think that motor was 10 years old. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know we talked about it a little bit in our original podcast, Aaron, but I want to talk about why you ended up going to a new chassis.
So in our first podcast, I was originally going to go with the green shell that Turbo Parts Canada was selling. And then after some discussions at World Cup finals, I decided that if I wanted to ever be at that race, I had to buy uh, another shell that Nick had that he got off of Mike Graciano, who originally built the car. So after some talking with the girlfriend, we put it together and made it happen.
Cool. Now, I know I keep saying that this car is a little more serious, but I want to talk about the differences between the down deposit car and your old car, who I believe you called it A-Bay Gold, right?
Yeah. So the black car started off as a street car, and it slowly progressed into what it was, which I think it did a 10, 12 on the last outing of it. But it was always designed as a street car, and then it just got a little bit faster, and then we threw a cage in it, and I kind of stopped driving it on the street. The down deposit car, I bought it strictly to be a race car. So it's all Lexan. It has carbon fiber headlights, carbon fiber bumper. Uh, Anything you can take out of it is out of it.
Wow.
It's strictly on a fuel tech. It's got a 3000 GT rear end. It's a dedicated race car. Now it's going to have a 73.9 with a forward facing manifold. It's going to be very serious this year.
That's what we like to hear. Tell us more.
Yeah.
Why are you switching to this setup?
So we basically ran out of steam on the 64, and the 73.9 is a class legal turbo for the series we run up in Canada called SSPA. So it's the biggest turbo we can jam in there to be legal.
What other changes other than the turbo and obviously the manifold are you making?
So the biggest change for the car this year is we're going to be running a viscous coupler in the driveline. So we're going to copy some of the Honda ideas, and hopefully it works out.
Yeah. See a lot of BSM guys moving to that, kind of following guys now.
Yeah, there's a couple secrets that I've heard whispers of, but I'm excited to try it.
Okay.
And we went to Sick Week this year, and seeing the Boosted Boys Odyssey leave perfectly every time kind of sold the deal. And I called S1, and we are putting one in the car as we speak. But that's really that. Oh, also I forgot about the biggest step. I always seem to forget about this. We're putting in a red demon block.
Oh wow!
So it's still cast, but it's fully filled, aluminum rods, fully decked head. It's going to be it's turning into a very serious car very quickly.
That's what we like to hear. So, what are you got to have some pretty big goals now, right, Aaron? Tell me about your goals with this car.
Yeah, so unfortunately the cage cert runs out at 850, but we're going to try to bury a low 8 in it this year. But I'd be happy with an 850, and then I guess see what it does at the shootout. But it's I'd love to see over 160 miles an hour.
For sure. So let's say the 2025 goals are to break the cage cert. Does that sound good?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
I like it. You got a long term goal in mind with this car?
Long-term goal is probably to race it out World Cup.
Okay.
They kind of killed the class I wanted to race in, and then I also want to win Quick 32 one year at the shootout.
That would be pretty sweet, huh? Taking it home for the boys up north.
It'd be really good. I think we almost have what it takes, but it should be good.
Yeah.
And it should compete this year, I hope.
Should be a good year to bring it out too.
Yeah.
So let's talk. Let's backtrack a little bit, Aaron. I want to talk about what this car was like when you first picked it up from Nick and the boys over at TPC.
Okay, so the car was basically a bare shell when I got it. It all it had was basically all the body panels and the carbon fiber dash with the Lexan windows. And I proceeded to get I believe an NDD rear subframe with a 3000 GT diff. I threw my old motor in there. And then everything from the black car besides the turbo, the rear end, and I believe that was it to basically get the car running. Went into that car. And then throughout the year, we put the car on CO2 and proceeded to go faster and faster until we started to lift the head a bunch. But
What's the personal best so far, Aaron?
so the personal best is a 912 at 156 miles an hour. That was on a 64 from TPC.
So you've already talked about the shootout, and I think the SSPA has 4 events in their season, right?
It does, yes.
Is that pretty much it for 2025 for you?
Yeah, there's a dream about going to Texas 2K this year, or I guess next or 2026.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see how the RV and the car bill adds up. So
Yeah, I guess Florida 2K might be easier for you, huh? But it's a little too close to the shootout.
yeah, it's also I believe a lot faster. If I was going to go race stick shift, it would be an adventure.
All right, I got you. I understand.
But I think we're going to stick with SSPA and the shootout this year.
Yeah.
And then maybe venture off to other ones.
I mean that's a full schedule right there.
It is, yeah. It's funny. The car was ready before the shootout last year, and then a week or 2 weeks before, it had lifted the head. So we bolted a head gasket and kind of hopes and prayed it at the shootout. But it did well in the 950 class. So
We're shooting for a little higher than 950 class this year, though.
oh yeah, it should be in the quick 32 class this year.
This episode of the MitsuTimes podcast is brought to you by Alpha Injection Clinic. They offer 6 different sizes of injectors for Mitsubishi platforms, from 1000cc all the way up to 2600cc, as well as DSM Evo resistor pack delete plug. They also sell injector pigtails and plug-and-play adapters. Alpha Injection Clinic is your partner when it comes to upgrading your fuel injectors. Check out all their products at alphainjection.com.
I want to kind of circle back a little bit and talk about the SSPA because there's pretty good DSM representation at the SSPA events, huh?
Yeah, we do pretty well. We kind of call it the shootout of the North because most of the DSMs, I guess, in Quebec and the Ontario area, we all go out there and try to race each other. So it's always a good time up there. We have 4 events, which is spread out decently throughout the summer. So the first one's coming up in a couple weeks in June, and we keep swinging from there.
So you got Jim's 2G, Jason's 2G, you got
Yeah.
Sebastian's 1G, your 2G, and I know I'm missing one.
So there's Jamie's 2G, and then I believe his name is Fred. He is a white 1G as well that goes up there.
Yeah, that's right.
And I believe you had the Turbo Lancer guy on your podcast a while ago, and he's also up there.
Yeah, Colin.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then there's also like all the Canadian boys that run Honda Civics that race at World Cup. They're up there as well. So it's a stout class.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the series is stacked for sure. Even if we even take out the Hondas and DSMs, there's some pretty serious muscle cars from the pictures I've seen.
Oh yeah, it's it brings everything out there and everything's fast.
Sure. And much better payouts than you would think. I mean, better payouts in the shootout.
Yeah, well, depending what class you race in, right?
Right.
It's we'll see what happens this year, but
Not the down the shootout. I don't want people coming for me here.
No. That's not. That's definitely not the case. But we'll see.
So, Aaron, I'm going to try something new this year with these podcasts. Is there anybody that you want to call out in 2025?
So me and Jason Drew have a very fun rivalry where I basically want to beat him every time that fucking car comes out of the trailer.
You want to beat him on the
So
track or just beat him?
on the track, we our rivalry is fairly friendly, but he also sent a signed picture of his car to my mother. So
Oh, we got to give it up for Jason. That's a good one.
oh yeah, he's definitely good at that. But you'll see our banter online start very shortly.
I seen
Because
Trevor had posted some pictures of Jason's new setup, and the hashtag was "fuck Aaron Bain."
yep, that's about what it boils down to.
That's good that you guys have some pretty good fun up there.
It makes it fun, and it's fun for people to watch and get invested in, right? So
Yeah, for sure. You need a little bit of side drama for sure.
I also want to call out Harley Town.
Oh,
That new car looks fast, but I don't know what it's really going to do.
yeah. It might need a driver mod.
It might. Automatic though, so
Yeah, that's the way to go these days.
I don't know, man. That torque converter shit is getting scary.
It is, and planetaries and everything else.
I mean,
Look at
Jiggly should come through, so
Yeah. That looks like it's already a done deal. It's the converters going to be the issue.
yeah. What's the deal with I'm not big into the automatic game, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. But, not to get too sidetracked, but I think once they're done, we'll see the autos really skyrocket. Maybe.
Of course. Just it was the way, right? When there was a point where manuals just couldn't do it because it was just too much power, and then we found a bunch of solutions, and time for the auto guys, I guess.
Goes back and forth now.
Exactly. It's a DSM after all, right? They're not known to be reliable.
Right, that's true too. Well, Aaron, is there anything else you want to talk about for the 2025 season or with the new car?
Let me think. I think we kind of covered everything. I'm hoping my shootout journey is better this year.
For sure. I'll definitely be praying for you there. I don't want you to relive last year. That'd be enough. That'd be enough for me to not come back. So I my hat's off to you.
You know, I've said it a couple times this year of like I don't really like Ohio because of the memories it leaves me with, but the DSM shootout it's a good time. I hope we get a little bit better weather.
Yeah.
But
We won't say the R word on here.
no, never say the R word. Never look at the weather. Just go to the event.
Yep, that's right. All right, so Aaron, where can people find and follow you on social media and see some more of this new car, the down deposit, plus keep up with your adventures in the SSPA series?
So my Facebook is just Aaron Bain. I also have a YouTube channel that I might be starting up again. It's all under Abe Gold. My Instagram is Abe Gold, and I believe that's it. I don't do any of the TikToks or anything like that, so mostly Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. I think you should do the TikTok because you have one of the sweetest mullets in existence.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The China thing kind of gets me.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Aaron, is there anybody that you want to give a thanks or a shout out to for helping get the car together and helping you out with your race program in 2025?
So I have a fairly big list to thank. So my crew chief and basically head mechanic Connor Wilson, Zach McCabe is also a huge help to the program. Tyson Purley, as long as his dad, who are currently building the Red Demon block for me. Mike at Busher, It's actually my block's in Ohio getting clearance for the rods. Static Fabrication does all my welding work. BR Tuning does all my tuning work. For some reason, I have to thank Jason for building me transfer cases in his trailer at the track. And everyone else, you know who you are, you know what you do, and I couldn't do it without any of you. I also want to shout out my girlfriend for putting up with all this.
Absolutely.
Because it's
being the other half of the pocketbook there.
Exactly, it helps.
These things ain't cheap.
No, they're not cheap, and it takes up a lot of time. So,
well, Aaron, thanks so much for coming back on here, man. I'm excited to see. I mean, I love seeing the new car in action already, but I'm excited to see what that 73.9 millimeter does. And once you get it all dialed in, you know, I'm looking forward to that low 8-second slip to put up there.
Me too. It'll be good. It got close last year on a smaller turbo, so we'll see what the TPC turbo can do this year.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's good talking to you, man. Make sure you keep us updated.
You too, man. I always will.
All right, I'll see you at the track.
Thank you for listening to the MitsuTimes podcast. Check out our Instagram and Facebook for daily updates. Get added to our list by going to MitsuTimes.org and clicking Submit a Slip. Thank you to all of our sponsors.